Perfect, perfect. So good evening, everyone on Zoom and in person. Welcome to Ujima's annual Investee Report Out. Please clap with me. We're always we're always super excited to have all of our portfolio businesses, our UGBA businesses in person with us. So it's always a special moment for, especially the fun team. So thank you all for joining us. Before we get started, for folks that are in person, few housekeeping items. So there's a bathroom. Once you exit this little area over here and you take a left, there's gonna be bathrooms for everybody. There's food from Nos Casa on one of our UGBA businesses. So super excited to have them back with us, even though it's through the food and in spirit. And yeah, so now let's jump into the event. I'm not going to talk too much. But yeah, the whole purpose of our annual Investee Report Out is so that our members and our community have an opportunity to hear from all of our portfolio businesses, hear about the challenges throughout 2025, hear about the accomplishments through 2025, and then what to look forward to as we enter 2026, right? So yeah, we don't want to hear too much from me. We want to hear from you guys. So now I'm going to pass it over to our first business, Bipla and Comfort Kitchen. Thank you, Bipla.
Thank you. Do we know how many people we have on the screen?
We
Where should
have
I
like
watch?
you can watch in person mostly.
Got it.
Let me just change the background for you.
It's mostly in person.
Yeah, mostly in person. Yeah, both. Here we go.
Awesome. Great. Awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vipla. I'm one of the co-owners at Comfort Kitchen, and it's exciting to be back for our third year. Yes, thank you. We'll be 4 years old this January 25th. So, yes. Yes, exciting times. So I'll get it started. Accomplishment celebration this year. So it's been a learning year for us, and we're growing as a team. We were nominated, not nominated, we were awarded the fifth best restaurant in Boston out of 50 restaurants. So that is pretty big for our team. We are also on Netflix, Feed Me Phil season 7 Boston episode. So check us out. So those are little, uh, Feed Me Phil or Feed Me Phil. The Boston episode, season 7. Yeah, some joyful moments. We grew as a team definitely since our freshman year. We've become more mature. Our operation side is a lot more leaner. We are not where we need to be. Restaurant business is a very difficult business, but we are getting very close. So at the end of the year, I'm really hoping that our finances are a lot better than last year for sure, but we are not where we are. Any breakthrough moments? Yeah, so we've learned a lot just in terms of management, in terms of food costs, labor costs. These are like really three big things that really make or break the business. And so we've been a lot better at cutting costs on food, our labor. Our first year, it was really difficult because it's the first year you really don't know what you're getting into. And now we have rhythm. So we know exactly, like for this week, we know how many customers are going to be coming in, what our January looks like. So we really plan a few months ahead. So we really don't fall into that, slow times. And how can member, what's keeping you up at night or any challenges you face? This year, like most folks in business, has been a bit challenging in terms of economy, and just with this administration, it's not as, bright and joyful. Just to go day-to-day business and activities. So that's been challenging just psychologically. It's just difficult. Most of our staff, most of us are, immigrants, communities of color, and this feels like we are getting outside of our house and it's just going through war every day. So that's been challenging. Like one of the biggest challenges is that, and with that, most restaurant revenues and just not Comfort Kitchen, just across the board, it has gone down definitely by at least 10, 12%. And I think people are just, not in a situation where they are able to spend as much money as they would 3 years ago. And it's all, understandable. We just have to change as a business and move around it. I feel like we're doing a good job, but it's definitely not easy path. And looking forward to next year. But on a brighter side, we are learning things that we didn't do well in our first, second year, and we've doubled down on that. We are much more efficient. We know our calendar very well, our seasonality. Yeah, so these are the things that really keep me up at night, in terms of like the quality of our life with this work and life balance is pretty difficult to maintain. Um, how can members and people in the room help you? I think, for most businesses, I think what we ask is neighbors and customers and guests to actually bring the body, like do the spaces, not just share online and talk about it, but to go and visit, to spend your dollars, to really be in your neighborhood, to spread the word, and to spread word about businesses that are doing well and are, in good standing. So that would be it. Wanted to share good news for Comfort Kitchen and also for Ujima members. We are opening a new restaurant next year in about a month. Thank you. It's going to be called Ama. It's a homage to caregivers and mothers in our lives. And restaurant industry in itself is a caregiving industry. And so we are, most of our concept and our food is really going to be dependent on that. So Ama means mother in Nepali and also in Hindi and a lot of other languages. This is going to be a pretty big project. It's going to be on Western Ave, right across from Harvard Business School. So it's in a hotel lobby, and we're pretty excited. We're excited for our team as they can grow into this new positions. We're able to, increase people's salary just based on the size of the project, and that's what really makes me proud and happy. So thank you. I'm open for questions. Cool.
Um, Thank you for sharing information. The food is the more bigger industry in the United States. And it's real, it's getting down because they are full of because something is in the floor. The people doesn't have the cash to running and buy every day, and everybody is in that situation. So, but it's good to spread the word and so all the time try to support a small business and community business. The business from the community can gain. That's the people who are going to be on your side.
Yes.
So that's the people that we have to support it. But I think so. Keep working and keep hope and positive and
Yes.
keep it up. It's going to take all the business because we have a difficult to better tomorrow.
Hmm.
Period is going
Yes.
to happen because a little candle is not going to be disappear. Doesn't matter how dark going to be the night.
Yes.
So I think so. Keep going and put enthusiasm and energy, and we're going to be just fine.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Time for one more question.
Yeah, I wondered, how's the hiring process been like, or what will it be like for the two new locations? And is there like a consideration? Are some staff like, oh, I want to work here and from Dorchester? And
Right. Yeah.
those dynamics.
Yeah. So we're actually in a job fair week this week. Today's what, Wednesday? Today was our last day of job fair for this week. So it was an open job fair for last week, this week. We will be hiring close to 40 staff for the one restaurant, and there's another restaurant that we're opening in the same building in like April, May. So in total, it'll be close to 70, 75 staff. We would have 8 leadership positions that are all like salaried, full benefits, and then there are like mid-level uh, leadership position. Comfort Kitchen staff is just going to be separate from the two other, but there will be an option if people wanted to like work. But that's, down the line.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bibla. Next up we have Dorchester Food Co-op. So thank y'all. Welcome up, Robin. That's some space for you. Sec.
Hello, online folks.
Put it on the
That's
sec. Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, so the questions we have, what did you accomplish, celebrate this year? So the food co-op this year celebrated our second year as a storefront, open operations. So that was major. That was major for us because we've been 13 years in planning with community members, obviously, since we are a co-op. So this is the second year of being in a brick and mortar actual building. And let's see, did you have any breakthrough moments? That I'm not sure. I mean, I think every day is a breakthrough moment. Every day that we're in business is a breakthrough moment. I'm trying to think. For me personally, so the next question is, what keeps you up at night, and what are some of the challenges you are facing? So I'll start with that. So one of our challenges was and still is. So as a business, as you know, all new businesses, when you start, you have to have a bank of money because you can't necessarily depend on operations to keep you running. So we had our, yeah, I don't know what you want to call it, but at some point in August, and June, July, August, we realized the operations where we wanted to be, sales operations, was not at the level that we needed it. So we was running through our cash reserves. That's the word I wanted, our cash reserves. So in August, we sent out an email to all our membership, and we have over 2,000 members. And so we sent out an email and we said, we could be possibly on the verge of closing if things don't turn around. Like if we, meaning all of us as a community, don't support the business, because a business is a business. Business isn't just, a dream. It is a business once you're up and open. So it really depends on sales. It depends on people coming in and taking part in your business. So what was inspiring, so the breakthrough for me personally is immediately within that next week, people were at the store. Now, these are people that have been members, and they could have been members from 5, 6, 10 years ago. And when they thought about becoming a member, they loved the dream. But then when the store's there, it's a matter of getting people to shift their buying trends. And that takes a long time. As anybody with a new business knows, that takes a long time. But the business doesn't always have that time. So we had to make it quite obvious and honest that we really need you to come in and shop. And they actually did. So that was a wonderful breakthrough for all of us, the board and the current members and everybody that's been helping us along, even Ujima. So that was a wonderful thing. So what's key? So it's still a challenge. Obviously, business is still a challenge. And we are working on various marketing techniques, which we had from the beginning, but we're also partnering with a lot of different supporters, one of which obviously is Ujima. And we'll be meeting with them and with a couple of other consultants in the near future. And then let's see, number 4. Let's see. How can members and people in the room help you as you enter the new year? So we're all here as businesses to support each other. So we're here to support you all as business members. And obviously we need you all. Definitely word of mouth. So anytime if you haven't yet been on our Facebook or Instagram, if you could join that, like, post when you come shop, like put out your own experience. You can, you can tag us with whatever it is that you have to say about your shopping experience, because your stories are what really help other people understand why they should shop at the store. What else? A couple of highlights that we had in the year. I think for the past 3 or 4 years, we've had a CSA, and this year it was really successful. We had 34 families that had subscribed to the CSA, and we had a grant that funded, yes, community community sustainable agriculture. So that's if a farm, so many farms have CSAs, right? So a farm will say, we're going to be growing every year. We're going to be growing our food. The food we usually have, I'm going like this because I'm looking at the calendar of July and August, right? That's when the harvest really comes up. But in the beginning of the year, they're like, can you support us, subscribe to us, purchase your shares now, so that when the harvest comes, we already know you're going to be getting a basket of food every week because you paid for it in advance. And what happens is you pay in advance, so you help support their expenses before the season comes, like before the harvest comes, really. The season starts before the harvest. So the farmers need support before the harvest. So we teamed up with the farm school, which is in Athol, Mass, and we had 34 shares. And one of the highlights was we also took a trip and brought as many people as wanted to go up and visit the farm. So that was wonderful. That was absolutely amazing. And they got to see where the food is coming from, and they also got to dig for themselves. So they dug their own carrots and their tomatoes, and they came home with fresh cow's milk, literally from the cow that day. And they got to understand why and how the co-op is different from other supermarkets, like what our mission is to do that all the time, but we can't do that all the time until we have the support to get us there. Like we have the ambition to do it, but we can't always make it implemented until we have the full support. And let's see. So how can members in the room help? So yeah, word of mouth, shopping, shop. It is a store. So you could come to us first, and then whatever you can't get at our store, then you can go to the other stores and shop. That would be very helpful. And then just spread the word. Let other people know that you can become a member, you can become an owner. It's a community-owned shopping experience, and everybody in the room can take part. And I guess that's it.
Question from Julia.
I have a question. Can you tell us how to become members?
Oh, yeah.
And if we want to test out the store before then, can we shop as a non-member?
Absolutely. All of the above. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, I can tell you how to be a member. You can go to our website, which is Dorchester Food Co-op, and then there's a join button. You can click the join and do it all online. It's $100 for a one-time membership. It's not an annual membership. It's a one-time because you're buying a share, one share, and then you're equal to everybody else. And yes, you don't have to. Yes, we have no bananas. No. Yes, you can shop without being a member. So yes, you can shop if you're not a member. Anybody can shop. And what was the other question?
That's it.
Okay. Any other questions?
And we also have payment plans.
Yes.
We have payment plans and we have solidarity
Yes.
share, meaning that if you can't pay for it, then we have solidarity share, so you can still become a member.
Right.
And folks support
It's a
that
fund.
effort as well.
Oh, another highlight.
Can you say more about the payment plans?
Yeah.
Like payment plans for groceries?
No, payment plans. It's a payment plan for the membership. So it's $100. You can pay all at once. You can pay in installments. And then there's a solidarity fund. So anybody can elect to have the solidarity fund. You can elect yourself. There's no application process, but if you feel you would like it, you just choose it, and then you pay $25, $50, or $75, and then the fund will put in the balance.
Yeah, my question is simply about bulk.
bulk, yeah.
Did you do, like
Yep.
if a church or some
Yep.
institution wanted to buy in bulk, is that?
Yes. So there's two different types of bulk. So in store, we have, I'm pointing to the the invisible bulk racks here. So we have dry ingredients in bulk and also liquid ingredients in bulk at the store. So that allows you and us to buy as much as you want or as little as you want, and also to be environmentally safe when less packaging. So you can bring in your own containers and measure as much as you want. And then as far as what the gentleman is asking is anybody, not just organizations, but churches, families, anybody can send us an email at info@Dorchester Food Co-op and ask about buying in bulk. So you can buy by the caseload of anything. And it can be anything that we have in the store, or even anything that we don't sell in the store. As long as our supplier provides it, we can provide you with the pricing of anything that you'd like by case. And then we'll give you the prices, and then you choose the purchase, and then you get a 10% discount because you're getting the bulk price. Yes.
So can you buy, wait 1 second, Andre, I'm sorry. I forgot to remind folks before you answer or ask your question, say who you are, who you're with, so everybody can kind of know who's with.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure, I'm Andre Stark with the Bay State Banner. I feel like asking journalism questions.
I don't know why.
Can somebody buy guest membership for somebody? So say somebody wants to contribute $500 and pay for people who may not.
Yeah.
We did that for the
Yeah.
family shutdown.
You what?
We, a lot of course, concerned folks that wanted to support their neighbors because of the government shutdown.
Oh, right.
And SNAP and everything. We got a lot of requests and actually special donations specifically for families that need the support. And yeah, so those are things that we can definitely do, and we can work out if that's something that folks are interested in. We just had the Urban League actually do that, where they I think it was $10,000 specifically for gift cards for families and as well as memberships for families.
And if you're asking individually, like if a person, like say, if I wanted to buy a membership for my cousin or 10 of my cousins, yeah, you come in if you have their name and their address, or you can do it online. Like you just pay for it same way. You put in their information as the person. Is that what you meant?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And is that different or the same as the solidarity shares?
That would be, well,
It depends on what I'm not sure. Are you asking, can you donate towards the solidarity share, or are you asking?
I was just thinking about people who may not be able to afford. You were talking about paying over time. Maybe there's
Yep.
a way to just give.
So you can, you can also donate towards the solidarity fund, if that's what you meant.
and we have gift cards. So
Yeah.
for instance, if you wanted to do it that way, like buy a gift card, put for $500 on, and then we can come up with some sort of arrangement, because we're obviously trying to do a bunch of different things to support the community, and that's actually a good idea in terms of like maybe, for a family of 5 that comes in and something like that. That's definitely something that we can consider doing. But currently at the moment, like a direct kind of like money and then an individual, we don't have that yet, but we can do it, right? It's only a matter of putting it into action, yeah.
Good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Y'all said, thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Perfect. Let's see. And we didn't get a chance for you to introduce yourself. I'm sorry.
Oh, hi everyone, Darren Lee this year, AR pronouns. I'm the co-president of the board of the Dorchester Food Co-op.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. So next, Ronnie, you good to go? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, Andre, I'm so sorry. I am so
Wrong
sorry.
person. He's somewhere.
Not here. Are you
All
good
right,
to go?
sure.
Perfect. Thank you. So next we have Bay State Banner. We have Andre Stark with us.
So, for those of you who don't know, our organization is called the Bay State Banner newspaper. We're based at 1 John Elliott Square, right next to the First Church of Roxbury. We moved there about a little over a year ago, and we used to be in Washington Street in Dorchester, which was a medical building. But the cruise construction companies kindly let us move into their old offices. They redid them for us. And so now we have a space to do a lot of different things, which I'll go into in just a sec. We also got to move there, we got a grant from the city of Boston to move locations. And we are pretty much about a quarter mile from where the paper originally started. Now, the paper was started 60 years ago in October by Mel Miller. So we just celebrated our 60th anniversary, which is great. Yes. And in doing so, you were talking about new projects. We are going to be producing a series of forums based on a variety of criteria. So tomorrow, we're going to be in the Boston Public Library talking about the disappearance of Black media and Black anchors, so to speak, on a variety of the networks. And you've seen it happen since, it was before Joy Reid, but there was another woman at the Washington Post and so on and so on. And so we're going to have Dr. Ben Chavis, who he's the head of the National Newspaper Association, and he used to be head of the NAACP, and there's one person from the GRIO, another person from CNN, and another person from the Huffington Post, who are going to be around for half the day. So from 12:30 to 5:30, you can come over to Boston Public Library, and it's that cafe that they have right on the first floor. And then after that, we'll be in the Lenox Hotel next door, talking about different issues. Some of it's going to be about legacy media, older newspapers, and then a lot of it's going to be talking about younger organizations that are strictly online. I have a 26-year-old son, and he does not read the paper. And everything is on his phone or his tablet, and he's got two phones. So he looks, it's crazy. He works in public relations, so I just let him go. I go, have at it, You Gen Z people are a lot different than me. So I welcome that because it's going to be the wave of the future. Now, we got a grant from the local media association last year to help us navigate through the 21st century. So as you can imagine, a lot of newspapers have stopped printing, and a lot of them gone out of business. And what they wanted to do, or what they are doing now, is helping us make sure that we have a digital presence and how we can do that over time, because newspapers are somewhat antiquated in a lot of people's minds, and you have to be digitally present to be successful. So that was one of the problems that we face, is to make sure that we're relevant for a younger generation. We have one writer who writes a lot about climate change, and we found out that in the Gen Z population, that is the most important topic to them. So we have a wide type of science-oriented writing, and it's all about climate and how it affects people. We've had a partnership with Northeastern University with some of their students and some of their grad students about it. For instance, one of the topics they discussed was about tree cover. And a couple of years ago, when they had the NAACP convention, they wanted to go take people through different Black neighborhoods. And when they're going up on Blue Hill Avenue, it was so hot, they had to turn around. And they had to stop the tour. So that is very relevant, not only to people who live there, that it's 15 degrees hotter there than it is in Beacon Hill or Back Bay, but that's an issue. And then we did a story about Chinatown having a problem with air pollution, because there's a convergence of 90 and 93 right outside of their homes. Then we did, here's the third one, we did something on lead pipes, and we had links to where you could find out if there was lead in your pipes. And I found out there was one right across the street from where I live. That was not what I was expecting. But those are the type of stories that we're trying to do, and to keep up with the types of news that people want. And we've been helped quite a bit by Ujima, and they now sponsor our business pages. And the last time I was here, I think I spoke to everybody and said that we're trying to get as many people on those business pages as we can. And we've done a variety of Ujima-based organizations. So I said, be patient, we will get to your businesses eventually. And I think we've been doing quite a good job of getting a lot of them on there. But, you know, that's only the tip of the iceberg. Everybody in here owns a business, and they want to be seen, and they want to make sure the Black community and the brown community and the Asian community knows about their business. And we have a rundown of different types of people who read our paper. Our demographics are pretty widespread. There, you know, I think it's 60% Black, 30% English-speaking Latino, and a 10% progressive white readership. So it's a wide variety of people who read the paper. Now, what keeps us up at night? I'll tell you, one of the main issues that we have is collections. That's the most difficult part that we have, specifically because we deal with a lot of ad agencies. So we have Xfinity that advertises, we have Bank of America that advertises, and obviously they go through ad agencies because they're big companies. One of them, and it will go nameless, has their ad agency based in Columbia, and I do not mean Columbia, Maryland. And it's, you know, we have to get everybody on board to make calls to them to get the money out of them. And these are big accounts. This is 20 grand, $30,000. That is 180 days late. So you've got to shuffle and juggle those accounts and figure out how to manage them, because it can get brutal when you have to make loan payments. So we got $500,000 from Nectar, and congratulations to Nia, who just became a board member at Nectar. And we have loans from a variety of organizations, so we have to make sure that we pay those back. And we haven't missed a loan payment yet in 2 years, but you have to be creative in how you do it. And one of those ways is to make sure you raise money digitally, because when we took the paper over, and I'll end my talk now, there was a total of $75 in ad revenue on the website. Now, granted, the former owner, who's turning 90 this year, really wasn't interested in doing that. And you have to understand that he just really didn't do it. So we knew we could exploit it, but you have to do it over a certain amount of time, and make sure that you're doing it. And the other part of our problems was that our social media was lacking. So what did we do? We have all these Gen Z interns and everybody who's like, oh yeah, I can do that. Meanwhile, it's like, son, can you make this work? You know, I feel like when I was younger and I was trying to program my parents' VCR, I was like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Now I got to change because I can't figure out this program. So those are the people. We also have a weekly news program that we shoot in the paper, and then we have literally 10 feet away, we have a Mac that we enter all the information in and cut it up into bite-sized bits to fit on social media. Because as I said, Gen Z people don't work. They want something fast, they want graphics and a wow factor. So that's what we have to make sure that we do. So we know that we're a legacy newspaper, but we have to move into the 21st century and make sure that we're viable after we're gone. So do you have any questions? Nope. Okay.
I think there are some questions. We just wanted to applaud your wonderful presentation.
Am I what?
We just wanted to applaud your wonderful presentation. Can you?
Oh, thanks. Sure.
Can you talk really quickly, because we've highlighted this in our investor reports. There's a nonprofit institute.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
Part of
forgot
the
to say that.
banner. And can you talk about that? Because that's also related to just kind of really trying to support Black media and how people can talk about it. What is it? And then how people can support it.
Sure. Sorry, I left that out. That's a big piece in the new plan. We established the Banner Institute for Community News this summer. We have a board of 6 people. who oversee it. And it's based to raise money for community news organizations, community news forums like the one that we're having tomorrow. We're also working to have different bureaus in New England. So we want to be the New England banner over the course of the next 2 years, rather than just the Bay State banner, because we know that there's a dearth of news in New England. And there's a lot of immigrant families moving into different states. You know, I don't know if I said this last year, but we didn't realize when we took the paper over that there's a Black Pages in Maine and that there's a Black Chamber of Commerce in Maine. I did not know that. And as I mentioned before, there's a lot of immigrant families who are moving into New England, and their news needs to be heard and their stories need to be discussed. And we have, you know, we've been reaching out, we've been doing some stories about people outside of Boston. And we started producing a lot of stories about Providence area. And we know that there's a couple of minority newspapers in and around Massachusetts, New England, but they're not really prevalent. When you go, oh, yeah, I've heard about that paper. They're not really visible. So we want to make sure that we can expand our reach and do stories about a lot of different people and organizations that don't necessarily get heard. I mean, we were out in Worcester last summer, and I was at the DCU Center for a supplier diversity program, and I met this woman who is the only Black female rehab builder in Massachusetts. And I just happened to find that story, and she's in Worcester, so I know that there's, and people started calling her after they read the paper, because we have different drops in Worcester. So this institute is being initiated to hire writers and hire an editor in different parts of New England, and also to provide these forums. So we're going to have, hopefully, we're going to have forums about on Martin Luther King Day and then Juneteenth, and have a variety of these talkbacks where everybody can come and voice their opinion about different aspects of the news. You know, you were also talking about different challenges. We had a drop off when Trump got, I shouldn't have mentioned his name, when he got elected. We had a drop off in companies advertising with us, but we had an increase in the amount of people who wanted to read the paper, which was really funny. We had about 10 more places in and around Boston that wanted to have the paper delivered. Wow, that is really strange. But we hope that when we become a New England paper, we'll have regional ad buys. So it could be New England Toyota dealers wants to advertise because they know that the reach is outside of Greater Boston. And so we hope with this institute, we'll be able to have more feedback from the community when we have these public forums, and so they can voice their opinion and be heard. So the first one is tomorrow. I did not bring flyers with me, but the first one's tomorrow. It's 12:30 to 5:30 in the cafe in the Boston Public Library, and then at the Lenox Hotel right across the street. So you can come and ask a lot of these journalists, you know, what you think needs to be discussed and what the future of journalism from the minority community is going to be. It's a challenge, but you realize that this person's only going to be here for 3 years, and you know what's going to, yeah, hopefully, and you have to plan beyond that and realize that you have to coalesce with a lot of different groups to make sure that you're viable. So, and I keep saying I was going to be done, but this is how we've been able to move through. We have a relationship with WCVB, who puts stories on our website that are salient to the community, and then we'll have one of our journalists go on Sunday morning with their news team and talk about different subjects relating to the paper. Then we have a relationship with the Boston Business Journal and WGBH, where we will use their stories and they can use our stories, because I think that's what the future holds. You're not going to be able to be an island unto yourself. There's just no way. So there it is in a nutshell. Thanks, Nia, for reminding me. But I left papers outside.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Andre. Next, we are gonna have.
Did you have a question, Sienna?
More of a comment. I think Just Bookish needs some big state banners.
Where is it?
Just
Oh,
Bookish.
Corner?
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Us too, us
I
too.
told them.
The Dorchester Food Co-op too.
Oh, those are- oh, those are-
That's a great idea.
Let me know what I can do to connect you.
Perfect. Now we're gonna have Sarah's team come join us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm Josephine Alone. I think so everybody know me. And from Zero Cooperative and Cooperative. We are not traditional business. So we started business on October 14, 2014. So we running for a few years. We are struggling for a few years. In the last, we have to celebrate it. In the last 2 years, we made a huge progress. Food waste and compost is a harder industrial, heavy duty and dirty job. That some people got, but some dirty job very enjoyable for myself because I am the people who like to feel the clothes that I use in the shoes. I like to feel. And I have a lot of people in my side do the same. So we provided the food wasting composting to Boston area and area of the Boston like Wesley, Needham, in little far away because when the city implement the regulation, the reality was that nobody over there who can do the real job. Not taking the food waste, that is a very expensive work for us and for the business who doing, because they have to invest to training the people. The education process is huge and costs a lot. And they wanted that the material that we collect be taken and treated in an environment responsible way. And it wasn't happening. And that happened with a lot of business. So Serocoa have a expertise in food waste and composting here in Boston. We are the only one. And I'm very proud because in 2011, when we started the idea of the project in 1251 Dorchester Ave in Mascot meeting room, nobody in Boston area, let's see, Roxbury, Dorchester, had the idea of the high prices, Nobody had the idea about green economy. Nobody have education information about food waste and composting. And we settled, we put the people in the road that say, yes, we can develop business and we can create a job basis in green economy. And minority people, smart people. Josefina, a Latin American woman, short woman, with my broken English, but I may encounter a lot of people. That's a good thing. So we did this campaign, huge campaign. And today we have a lot of people in Boston area, in Dorchester, small business, that they're not obligated to comply with the regulation, but they want to be environment responsible. And this year, we have the good thing that we have in Zero so many good and valuable professionals. People who came to working with us not to promote themselves, but promote Zero and promote our mission. And we have 2 people here, Naranda and Shamia, that I example, after working the whole day, they came here to be here present. And my driver just called me, and I'm sorry, my phone was still, they was in the road. We started the day at 4 in the morning. So we have to celebrate it that we made a lot of progress in zero. One example is when the service that we provided is a little complicated because we collect food waste. We need to know the customer. Most of the customers, they want to know how much waste they are composting. We provide the clean barrel. We provide the bio bag. And we need a software that takes all these steps in consideration. And we, for a few years, we didn't have it. We was working with Rubicon. Rubicon have a little thing. After we get a software in some European country, very expensive what we was using, doesn't. But a group of people in Maryland who was doing the same job that we was doing and having the same issue, developing the software. And today we have this software that when the driver go into the site, they can put it. They have a list, broken barrel, dirty barrel, a leaking barrel, no parking, blocking, loading dock, everything. Anything that they see and they have it in this site, they can document. So we made our administration very, very technology and very, very professional. And that's helping us a lot because we know when the driver is going, I can have in my phone, I can see, and anyone of us can see where is the truck, how long take the truck do the job, and all that kind of stuff that we have to have a control. Because a lot of people believe it, the co-op is a non-profit. No way. We want to make money. So our employee can have a good salary, good benefit, can have a decent life. That's our bottom line. We don't have nobody who working in zero. After they finish in zero, they have to go to get a part-time because what they get paid doesn't help them to put a food on the table. No. We want our people better life for our community and our people. That's the reality. Another thing, that is in the financial, last year we didn't have a negative income, and this year I hope we didn't. The client issue is taken in consideration for a lot of people. A lot of people are thinking very serious about that because you don't need a genius to go outside and feel that something is changing and something needs to be done. So we have a lot of support from our community. We have a very good account. This year, we added 12, 8 new accounts, commercial accounts, including the agreement with their title line. We provide food waste and composting for their title line kitchen. And we are very happy about that because they are using us to implement it here in Boston and later use this experience to implement in another state. And they are asking us, you working over there? No, only here in Massachusetts. So, and I think so before the end of the year, we're going to have about 3 or 4 accounts that we're going to add. So this year is going to be very good for us. We're talking about commercial account. Because like the gentleman was explaining, this is an issue that a lot of people are thinking very serious. What is may us feel uncomfortable? 2 things that we have to work out. We have our store over here in 155 Southampton Street, New Market Square. You know where it is. We pay over there. Our monthly rent is about 3,700 a month. So we are paying rent, a GIE about 47,000 around there. And we don't have nothing over there. We don't have a bathroom. It's very good because it's good location. We can jump in and 93 South, 93 North, but a lot of times we work with many college. We work with LaSalle College, Olin College, Boston College, BU, Northeastern. A lot of the time, these people, the students, want to come to us. They want to hear from us. They want to see what we do. And we don't have the ability. We don't have the area where we can do nothing like that. So we are working very hard, and we need a support for the people to see if we can get a better location. It's not going to be right here in Boston, but I think so. Rando area, Avon area, Deran, High Park industrial area. I think so. We have a group for Ujima Boston this summer, and they came and helping us making decision. And they found a few places, but none of them was correct because we need a place not close to residential area. Okay. That's one thing. Another thing that we want to support is that we got $10,000 grant, mini grant, to development a community composting site. So we are looking for somebody who have a area where we can build something, put our barrel, lock it, sign it, install that, to provide the community with food waste and composting. We want to create a membership program where the people pay every month something, and they can drop the food waste to the location where we can pick it up. So that's the two things that we need support and take us out the sleep. I think so. That's it. Sorry, I take it so long.
No,
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, two questions.
If you're interested in the community composting site, are there specific criteria that we should consider?
Well, that be safe for places to borrow, and be access where the people from the community can free going and drop off. And that's what we're looking. We have everything how we going to build. We sign it, put it pretty, and lock the barrel, give everybody the keys or the code that they can, because a lot of people came to us and asked it. And we want to do that. People want to do it.
Yeah.
But they don't, and 301. I have it here in my phone, the pig, the picture of the pig that eat the food that we collect. So we don't. So, and another question I have it.
No, actually, we were asking about the same thing.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay, so
Thank you.
and yeah,
Is there another?
we are.
Thank you. There's another question.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
We briefly chatted over here. As you know, these fine folks from Dorchester Food Co-op, we're just aware that there is already the land that is shared by both the food project and the DSNI, that's dubbed the Terra Libri. If you've already spoken to the food project or DSNI, that green space, which is already utilized for urban farming, it would make total sense if there was a composting site, maybe collaborated upon in a cooperative economic fashion. And that's also in the heart of Roxbury, very close to Dorchester.
Yeah, that's pretty good idea. So Shamia and Naranta take the information for her, and we can put it together and keep the conversation around. Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. We needed that. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so next we have Sharonda with Cupcake Therapy.
Any samples?
Get your own bag.
Did you want a presentation?
Yes.
You do? You send it to me?
Oh, yeah, I should do that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Which is great because yours is probably charged, unlike mine.
There you go.
Nice. You featured them already? Nice.
Yeah, we did.
See you already.
It's on Google Drive.
Theology.
It's on Google Drive.
Yeah.
I should be able to clean it up.
I have all kinds of those. I have a Fiona by the Bay, a vacation plan.
Call that a business page.
I like that.
Josephine Garden. One second. Josephine. Let me just share my screen with the folks on Zoom. I'll make this in.
Okay, thank you. Great, how are you?
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. So I always do this slide first because I like the pictures. But also because this is our last time doing this particular pitch. So just as a reminder for now, Cupcake Therapy is a premium nut-free, allergy-friendly cupcake company with over 100 options of regular, vegan, gluten-free, sugar-free, and soy-free desserts. For now. So I'll get to in a second. So 2025 recap. In terms of how things have been going this year. When we started this year, we had to really look at a couple of things with the current economy, with tariffs and inflation and.
I'm not able to see it on Zoom. Give me one second.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
That's no problem.
Technical difficulty.
It was too sweet.
It's all good. I like that.
Okay.
I want to share the screen.
Yeah.
I want to stop sharing.
I'm lost right now.
Just go down to share.
It's at the bottom, the bottom of the screen.
I think I did that last time.
Yeah, when it looks like it's, so it's.
Nice.
Yeah.
But then we good.
Yeah.
Arika gave thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect. Sorry, everyone. Thank
Okay.
you.
Wow.
Okay.
So good.
So,
Make sure the cursor is where she can.
there we go. Okay. Okay. So, because of tariffs and inflation and all the things that are going on with the economy this year, we had to really look at our revenue, our expenses to see how we might be impacted in terms of, number one, our costs increasing, but also we have a lot of school clients. We have a lot of corporate clients that might be impacted. And so we wanted to make sure that we were going to be okay for the year. And so we were able to cut our costs without impacting our products, without impacting our service. But we also were able to not just maintain our revenue, but we actually increased 30% this year. And so that was kind of a surprise for us, but this was our first full year in Brookline. We moved from Westwood in April of last year, and so the move really helped us. Being in Westwood was far. It was what was available at the time, but it was far. And so being in Brookline has definitely impacted our revenue, but then also we were able to secure a contract this year. Most of our clients fall under one of four categories. There's school orders, corporate orders, people who are ordering for like just because or for events or for friends' birthdays and whatnot. And then the fourth is really like food service companies and caterers. What we wanted to do though was add hotels and event spaces. And so we were able to secure a contract with a major global hotel chain. Unfortunately, we had to sign an NDA. I wanted to like announce it on social media, and then we couldn't do that. So I was like, man. But they valued the contract at $500,000, and so we started out with just doing events for their in-house events, like for their staff. But it went well, and so they referred us to their event manager. So now it's going to be more of the client-facing larger events, and that's what we're going to be doing going into 2026. So we're really, really excited about that. And our goal really is to hopefully increase and work with more hotels, more event spaces, because that's when you get into the much larger orders of 100 plus dozen cupcakes and so or cakes even. So we're really looking forward to that in the next year. The next thing, partnerships. We were able to do a couple of partnerships this year. One was with Yelp Boston. We did a partnership in February of this year. In collaboration with Urban Grape, actually. It was a cupcake and wine tasting, and that was for Valentine's Day. It was open to anyone, but the first 100 people to register, but it was a free event, and so we got to meet a lot of people, and it was just a really fun event. And then about a week and a half ago, they had their end of the year event, where they call them, was it super Yelpers or whatever they call like the people who are like, people who like, they're Yelpies. They call them Yelpies, yeah. And it was like this award style event, and it's like people are posting like literally thousands of pictures. I'm like, how do you have time? But they're literally like these are like the Yelpies, the super Yelpers. They give out awards for like the most photos uploaded, the most reviews given, all of this stuff. It was this big event that I didn't even know was a thing. But we were one of 4 caterers for that event. So just the fact that we were able to come back and do another event with them was great. We really appreciated that. The other was Vistaprint. Their 25th anniversary was this year, and they did a cupcake party. And so they kind of like made it this big thing. So we had like the 2 and the 5, like the cupcake shapes, and they recorded everything. They posted on their social media. They really hyped us up. So it was really good for publicity for us as well. And so it was a really great partnership. Vistaprint was one of the sponsors for the Power Forward grant. So it was a Vistaprint and Celtics grant. And so they've done a lot of business with us since then, and so we just really appreciate their business. And then the third was sponsorships. This year, actually recently, we just did a sponsorship for the Museum of African American History. And earlier this year, the one that I'm really excited about, the Boston Neighborhood Basketball League. When I was a kid, I played a lot of sports, and so you know how you have like the T-shirts with the name of the company on the back that's sponsoring you. So this year we didn't get to do that. We did a sponsorship for their end of the year celebratory banquet, but starting next year we'll be sponsoring T-shirts for the kids, and so it'll say Cupcake Therapy on the back, and so we're really excited about that. It's it's a Boston-wide thing. It's the first neighborhood basketball league in the country, and it's really good also just because it's focusing on health for kids versus like cupcakes are great, but they're not the healthiest. And so being able to get back in this way it's been great. Another sponsorship we did was for the Boston Wall Black Family Reunion, and then we've done like other smaller ones as well. And so it's just been, it's not like everything isn't just about making money, So just being able to sponsor, things that are really important to us has been great this year. And we're looking forward to doing that again in the future. So I'm trying to get through about 10 minutes. In terms of what's next, and this goes to like the challenges and all of that. So the bakery dessert cafe / wine bar. This year has been interesting. So our lease was supposed to have started in February. The previous tenants decided they were not going to leave. And we found out the day before our lease was supposed to start. So their certificate of occupancy, they didn't have it for their new space. So and they're a large national company and the landlord was not going to kick them out. So we had to wait a couple months. And then they took the HVAC units when they left. So that took an extra month because our lease says that we have HVAC units. And so it just became a whole thing where not only were there delays in us starting the lease, but also we couldn't submit permit applications because you have to have possession of the space to do that. You can't get a permit for somebody else's space. And so, we didn't actually get the space until right during graduation season, which is our busiest season of the year. We couldn't do anything because we were right in graduation season. And so it did push things back as far as timing. And then of course, Boston is Boston. And so permitting is taking a while. And so that's been a challenge too, just in terms of things like getting denials based on things that didn't make sense. And our architect fighting with the city to say, no, this is your actual code. Here it is highlighted. This is how we're exempt. They fixed that and it was something else. So now we're going through the Zoning Board of Appeals, to rezone the space. So it's taking longer than we thought. But the space is worth it. So, when we open, it's going to be great. And we also got a couple of free extra months of rent because our lawyer is amazing. And for every day delay in giving us the space, the landlord owed us a day of rent. So we got about $11,000 in free rent on top of what we already got. On top of the 2 month delay. So yeah, so it was like our rent started 4 months later than what they planned. So it was that, everything works out the way it needs to. We'll be up and running before the World Cup, before Harbor Fest, before all the big things that are happening next year. So it's going to be fine. And we're just really excited about the space. So right now the furniture is in storage because we can't put it anywhere. But when it's all done and when we open, we'll be able to look back and laugh. We were not laughing a few months ago, but we are now. So it's just been a thing. However, there's another update, and I wanted to make sure we announce it here first before we post it on social media or send any emails out or anything. But as I mentioned, we're based in Brookline now, and one day I was driving home and took a little detour and found another space that was available. And we submitted an LOI and we signed a lease on Monday. And so we will, yeah. This place is, yeah, it's actually not here. This is Brookline Village, but it's actually the former Kurtz & Co. in Brookline Village. So the space is already built out. It is already zoned. We will be in about 3 to 4 weeks.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's not, Boston, we signed a lease in December of last year. Brookline, we signed a lease Monday, we'll be in a few weeks. We're
that's
really
Village Corner. Did you say Brookline Village?
Yeah, that was the picture I found online. Yeah. That's what we wanted. No. So the space that we really wanted is the one that LA Burdick got. So that didn't happen. That's why I had that picture up.
So this is not the space?
No, not this. This is not the building. It's actually yeah. So the address is 288 Washington Street. It's the former Kurtz & Co. So it's already built out for a food company. It's already got the kitchen and all of the stuff. And so it's just a matter of getting the permits and everything done. And because we've already done the permitting process for the ghost kitchen, we already know the people to submit for this space. And so we're excited. So we will be up in time for dry January. And so because we're opening a non-alcoholic wine bar and dessert cafe, opening for dry January is like the perfect timing and the perfect marketing for us to be able to do that. And so, so as of right now, our three kind of demographics where our business is coming from is pretty much Boston, Brookline, and Cambridge, which is why we're focusing on Boston and Brookline. Cambridge, mostly like corporate orders. They're not driving to us. They're not picking up. They're going to be ordering for delivery. And so that's why we focused on Boston and Brookline. And this is it. That's why my mom will not sign any more leases. I promise. I appreciate that she she actually humors my ideas, but yeah, so it's just something that came up and the rent was surprisingly lower than what we thought it would be. There were a lot of people that were going for this space and we were surprised we got it, but we got it. And so that is it. So we'll be open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the bakery. We're going to have just cupcakes, muffins, and cakes. We tried doing muffins a while ago. People were asking for them at 6 and 7 in the morning and we said absolutely not. Shut it down. Because we're just tired, but there was a high demand for muffins, especially like vegan and gluten-free and all of that. And so we decided to just go ahead and throw that in there. So we're gonna do cupcakes, muffins, and cakes in the morning. We got a lot of requests for birthday cakes, especially vegan and gluten-free. Nice. So just those three things, not a full service bakery, just those three things. We're gonna do those three, do them well, and that's it. And then from 5 to 11 or 5 to midnight on the weekends, the dessert cafe and non-alcoholic wine bar. And that is. Oh, and then this is what we are going to have. We're not doing food, we're doing easy stuff. So like charcuterie boards and then the desserts, mocktails, non-alcoholic wine, non-alcoholic beers. Really, the money's going to be in the non-alcoholic, the mocktails versus non-alcoholic wines. People don't necessarily go for non-alcoholic wine. However, it's good for marketing. But the reality is mocktails are going to be making more in terms of revenue than the other things. That is pretty much all. We are just really excited about where things are going, and
Oh, good.
yeah.
You get her ice cream? You're gonna have.
Oh yeah, so creme de la cour, that's my favorite ice cream ever. It's owned by two women. One is based in Wisconsin, the other one's based in Boston. And the ice cream is amazing. It is the best ever. It's amazing. But yeah, that's the only thing that we'll have that has alcohol in it. It's alcohol infused ice cream. But yeah, so we will have that. We'll have our own hot chocolate, and then other desserts as well. Our hot chocolate will actually be from Vermont nut free chocolates. It's really good. And that's all.
My question is your staffing.
Yes.
Like, what does that look like in terms of, everything from the chefs to the people who are coming up with the recipes to the folks like you doing the big picture growth and marketing?
Great question. So in terms of the recipe, so for cupcakes, we're pretty much done. We're gonna, we do some variations during like holidays, for instance, but we're not going to do too much more. We're thinking of expanding our sugar-free line. The challenge, so the thing is, we have like 4 options now. The challenge is that it's expensive, and we have a one-price policy. We charge the same whether you get regular vegan, gluten-free, or sugar-free. We don't believe that diabetics have to pay more money for cupcakes. Like that seems weird, but it's also very expensive to make them, and so we're looking at options because we're getting a lot of requests for sugar-free. We are the only ones in Greater Boston that do sugar-free cupcakes. So we get a lot of requests. We also have more requests on our website for gluten-free, more hits on our site for gluten-free than for regular cupcakes. And so what we're looking at is with 2 locations, having one kitchen that's dedicated gluten-free and then the other for regular. So that's how we're going to do things. In terms of staffing, I'm going to focus on the cupcakes and muffins. The desserts, we have someone she does really great desserts. She's not nut-free, her kitchen isn't. So we're looking at possibly bringing her on to bake out of our kitchen or seeing if she would consider going nut-free because she's working out of the ghost kitchen that we used to work out of in Westwood. And it would actually be better for her business financially to partner and to go nut-free. So we're trying to work that out. And in terms of the actual desserts, we're not doing anything that has to be, this answers your question in a roundabout way, but nothing that has to be baked to order or made to order. So like, let's say, for instance, when you go to LA Burdick, you're buying from the case. When you go to Mike's Pastry, when you go to Bova's, when you go to Modern, you're buying from the case. You're not sitting down and ordering and they have a chef in the back, making your order. And so that cuts down significantly on staffing because we can have the staff make everything in the morning and then it lasts for the entire day. And at the end of the night, whatever doesn't sell, we're actually donating. And then we start over the next day. But that cuts down on our staffing costs. Yes.
Forgive me if you talked about this already. So you talked about the Brookline Village location. The North End is still happening.
Absolutely. Yes.
Can you just say a little, I don't think you did this. Can you just say a little more about that location?
Yes.
Because I think it's a pretty compelling location. So what makes it a nice one?
Yeah. So the great thing about that one is that it's so first of all, the North End has the most restaurants of any area in Massachusetts. And so when you're talking about like literally, they have this on top of each other. Yeah, they're all of like 10 families, but that's not the point. But they have this whole like thing online where it talks about just how saturated the market is in terms of just restaurants in the North End. And so coming to us after for dessert is like the perfect setup. Also the largest I guess demographic in terms of our customer base is the financial district. And so we're within walking distance of the financial district. So that's another good thing. The hotel that we are working with that I can't technically say is like less than 15 minutes from that location. And so we can just run stuff back and forth whenever they have an event or something. So we're also a straight shot to the MIT side of Cambridge, which is where we have most of our Cambridge orders coming from. MIT is one of our largest customers actually. And so we're basically, that location is within 15 minutes of about 2/3 of our current customers. But then also just the fact that it's literally right across the street from Columbus Park. It's literally right across the street because we're at the corner. So Columbus Park is here, Rose Candy Greenway is here, and we're literally right here at the corner. The New England Aquarium is right around the corner. When Harbor Fest happens, there's so much going on at Columbus Park and at the Rose Candy Greenway. The West Kennedy Greenway hosts over 1 million visitors per year. I mean, it's a massive difference from the places that we were looking at before, and the rent is under $6,000 a month, which is very like I was very surprised. We had to build it out, but still, it was very low considering where it is. So it's a great location. It really is. Here and here and there.
Okay. How can members purchase cupcakes from you? And are you doing holiday deliveries?
Yes. So in terms of purchasing cupcakes, as of right now, we're still pre-order only, which is great because then the cupcakes are still fresh. Personally, I don't like old cupcakes, but they've been sitting out all day. I don't want it. But people want a storefront, so we're doing it. But yeah, so now you can still order for delivery. We are going for the holidays. We are hoping that we can get a permit to do December 23rd, 24th, and then New Year's Eve. So that we can do pop-ups in the space since we have it. Even though we're technically not going to be permitted to open it. But if we can do that, we can do pickups. The challenge with pickups in Brookline, the reason we discontinued them was because people weren't picking up on time or at all in some cases, which caused some problems. We're waiting all day and you don't show up. So that's why we stopped, but for the holidays, we will do pickups.
That's smart.
So that's how you can purchase. And then starting in January, you can just walk in whenever you feel like it. Yeah. And then your other question was?
Are you thinking of
holidays.
any more expansion?
So I promised my mom that we would not sign any more leases in 2025, which is over in 2 weeks. But we do. So the goal is to eventually expand across New England. One thing that we've seen with bakeries, generally speaking, is that they're very regional. There aren't a lot that are national. As you can see, like the ones that tried to expand shut down. Like Magnolia tried, they shut down. Georgetown tried, they shut down. They're just in Georgetown now. And so our goal is to look at New York as another possibility. At one point, we were looking at Newport, but Little Miss Cupcake shut down at the Cape. And from what we've been researching, the seasonal areas aren't necessarily the best to go to. So we're reconsidering that. But New York, a good number of our shipments are going to New York. That's our biggest state outside of Boston, outside of Massachusetts that we're shipping to. Yeah. Yes.
And Siona, the sugar-free thing just really,
Yes.
so.
Yes.
I was just wondering, being in Brookline, there's a large Jewish community.
Yes.
And just curious if that was something, part of the plan, or have you considered kosher?
Kosher?
Yeah.
So that's a good question. We've thought about kosher and also halal. We had someone asking about halal once. I didn't even know what that was. So I had to Google it. It's similar to kosher, but not exactly. So we've thought about it. With 2 kitchens is something that we can think about more and consider. So we're definitely looking into it. Yes. Yes. But then there's like Blacker's Bake Shop, right? Which is it's kosher. It's dairy free. It's nut free. It's all the things. And so they're in Newton, not Brookline, but still they're close. And so it's something that we're kind of considering, but the more immediate questions or needs have been the gluten-free and the sugar-free. Yeah. And then, yes.
Yeah, my question was about the North End in terms of gathering
Yes.
in a potential space. Like, do you see folks like sticking around with some tables and some chairs? Can we even do Ujima pop-ups like the Ujima Cafe pop-up?
We had pictures, and yes, we actually have. Actually, I can log in. No, I can't log into Canva from here. We have pictures actually of what the space, or mock-ups of what the space would look like.
You can put it right here.
Oh, okay.
Both sides would be non-alcoholic cafes.
I'm sorry?
Both are non-alcoholic.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's easier to get a liquor license in Brookline, but we don't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is we talked to a lot of schools and like a lot of the colleges. For undergrads, what they're really trying to do is they want to have networking events, but they can't pay for alcohol for undergrads. And so we're already talking to like BU, for instance, in BC. And so we can do a lot of events for the schools, and then also companies for organizations like Namaste Sober.
Okay.
They're, they do all, alcohol free, everything. So, having events with them. And so I think that, there are enough places that serve alcohol. We don't need to.
It just sounds like you really know your, customer.
Yeah, and plus I don't drink, so it's like, why would I go? If there are so many places where I'm like, okay, I want to go and have a drink and not, like, I'm not paying for
Not
it.
worry about drunk people, I understand.
And that too, people get rowdy and like, there's just so much that goes into it, and so many people want a place they can go. There are no dry bars in Massachusetts except for the closest one is in Western Mass. So in the greater Boston area, there are none. So we'll be the only one. We'll be the only two. Yes.
At one point, Sharonda, you were looking for testers.
Wow.
Yes.
Tasters for the drink?
Yes,
Are you
absolutely.
still looking for
We still are, and we're looking for them. We're looking for them sooner than we initially expected. So yes. Yeah. So we're actually gonna have some tasting events in dry January. And we've done all the research. We found my brother, I just need you to try. Oh yeah, sure. He like tries everything. So we've been trying a lot of like the non-alcoholic wines. Beers are easier to emulate than regular. We also talked to someone at Sam Adams about potentially collaborating. So hopefully we can do that.
And you'll put up the notice when.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, we'll have Ujima tasting, like just for Ujima. So that's what I think. So this is our furniture that's still in storage, but this is how it's kind of going to look. There are two entrances, but basically this is kind of how the setup is going to be for one side of it. This is another side. And so there's the entrance here from the lobby. And then this is where the other entrance is from the street. This is not handicap accessible, so we'll have both available. But we have the high top tables, we have the regular size tables with the marble tops and all the things. The kitchen is on the other side of this, the stairs. So it's like 2 levels. So you can kind of go up to where the stairs are. This covers the HVAC unit. That's what the little plants are for. Because when they put the new one in, it was like raggedy, and so we're like, oh no, we're gonna like not raggedy, but it's like the wires and stuff. So we're like, okay, it's covered up. But that's kind of how that looks. And then here's another shot. That's the window from the street view. Yay! And so we're excited, but this is how it's going to look. And so we picked out everything except for everything. Yeah. All this furniture is sitting in storage right now. The light fixtures, everything's in storage. But yeah, that's just what it looks like. This is actually, these are the steps that go up to, this is the kitchen area.
Okay.
And so it's got brick on this side. We're gonna whitewash the brick. So it's brick on this side and then on this side. And then the other 2 sides are just plain walls.
And sorry, Sharonda, just one more thing. And there's a community room in that space.
Yes, there's a community room, yes.
That's what you were saying.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wait, this is the one at the north?
This is the one in North End, yes. And so, but we'll be able, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna do things in terms of reserving spaces in general. What we're thinking is, Mondays and Tuesdays are usually like the slower days, for most food businesses. And so maybe we just have those 2 days open so that people can reserve the space. And then open Wednesday through Sunday for the dessert cafe and wine bar, and then every day for the actual bakery.
Thank you.
Thank
And that's it, yes.
And then, just immediate, jumping off of that space, something that Nubian Markets does with the gathering space is that they charge $50 an hour for the gathering space. In a scenario that people order a certain threshold of food, then the space is then complemented. Maybe you could play with that. It's $50, like $5. Maybe there's different numbers on your page.
Yeah, we just have a corporate rate and a nonprofit rate. Like the corporation, the companies, they'll pay. Companies will pay.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's space within your space. It's not.
So it's the building, right?
Well, so there's a community room that's literally across the hall. So like where this door is back here, it's across the hall. So this is the mercantile building. And so when you walk in, like there's, commercial spaces on the ground level and then apartments upstairs. And so across the hall from us is the community room. And that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect, thank you, Sharonda. Now we are gonna have Kiana and Kidogo Productions come up.
I am so proud of my Spelman sister.
Yes.
Oh, the other side? Okay.
And have you share your screen with this already?
Mhm. Yeah. What's it say here?
I got
Oh, wow. Okay.
Should be
Did I
good.
send the request?
Yep, it should be good now.
You guys, we've been sitting down for a little while, so why don't we try to get up?
Oh, look at that good business sticker on the laptop.
I know, I can't get it to my phone. Oh, you were.
Here's the sound though.
Thank God.
It's not, it's not making any sound.
Oh, you have to go to
Yeah, no, I just like your
help us with sound real quick.
sound, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Jill.
Got double.
We're just standing, we're not finishing. And then is it the people can hear us online?
Yeah, it's supposed to be there.
Where's the,
Oh, are you
Turn
gonna
up
play a piece of
volume.
media?
Yes.
Okay, got you. So,
Oh, there we go.
well, that might just be our local volume. I'm gonna hit share all over again and hit share sound optimize.
Karibu, Aquala, bienvenidos. Welcome to you and me. Bienvenido, Ekabo, Wagwan. Welcome to you and me.
Yeah, the people on
WELCOME. Welcome to you and me. Welcome to you and me.
I'll stay right here.
So I know that
Alright, we're starting.
Well, we're about to start, close the door.
Come back.
Ready?
Yeah, come back in or keep the door closed. Thank you.
this is our welcome song. So you guys get up, move a little bit.
WELCOME. Welcome to you and me. Welcome to you and me. WELCOME. Welcome to you and me. Welcome to you and me. Kidogoville is a place where we learn and share creativity. Welcome to you and me. Welcome to you and me. Come along, let's play. We're sure to brighten up your day. Welcome to you and me. Welcome to you and me. Karibu.
Thank you so much, you guys. That is a welcome song that was produced this year by a woman who lives in Nashville, Tennessee. She is has been a Kidogo creator for a couple of years now, and I'm so proud of that welcome song because it took a long time to get together. So I really just wanted to be able to summarize everything that we've gone through. First, to give a shout out and thank you to Ujima for why is there yes, okay.
And then
Is that
also,
better?
they can't see your face.
They can't see my
Yeah.
face. Do they need to?
I think they want to. Do you know what I would do? Because she needs to turn her camera on.
Yeah, just making sure I understand
Mhm.
So we're going to that, which is simply right here.
Do they see me now?
And then, are you able to hear us in person?
Oh, no, I mean,
They are not.
online. No?
Online?
We can hear you online.
Oh, okay,
Okay, great, we
great.
can proceed.
Okay. So we're all set now?
Perfect.
Okay, great. So, yes, it's again a shout out and thank you to Ujima. We we received this lifeline and we really needed it. So, what did we do with those funds, or what have we been doing with those funds? In August,
is when we received it. And by January, we realized that the tech that we had been working on was not going to work. We were trying to build our own app. We were trying to build our own app that had games and videos and whatnot. And the design was great. But by the time we got to the code didn't measure up to the designs. So we had to really reconstruct ourselves. And so between January, which is when I saw the design, and February, I got a new team. And so, a bunch of interviews of who can be the tech person, who can help us with that. It happened to be that my husband's college roommate was looking for a job. He's a full stack developer. And he has been steering our tech team since then. By April, we realized that he sat me down and he said, "You cannot build your own app right now. You do not have, even though you just got your Ujima Fund, you do not have enough money, you do not have enough staff, and you do not have enough time. So are you ready for my suggestion?" I said, "Probably not. I'm probably not ready." And he says, "I think you should build on Roblox." Is anyone familiar with Roblox?
Yes.
Roblox is that video platform. It's still echoing.
You have to exit.
It's you.
It's
not
you.
you.
Okay. So Roblox is that video platform. It's kind of like a YouTube for video games. And so people can build their own video games, and you can be on that platform. And there are about 14 million people who play on that platform. One of the things that you can do on Roblox is build your own world. And that is the world that I have imagined in my mind is called Kidogoville. And that's where we've been building ever since.
Oh, wow.
So I'll show you, what Kidogoville looks like now, and I will show you what what it will look like later. In June of this year, we were invited by BAMS Fest to do a kids activation there. That was the largest. That was the largest kids activation we have ever done. I'm a very humble person, so for me, if I can bless 50 kids, that's great. But here we had 10,000 people coming through the tents, and in that whole area. And we held our own. I'm actually kind of proud of ourselves. One of the things that I really enjoy is, I talk a lot about the light in the eyes of these children. But what really struck us about that particular event is the light in the parents' eyes. Not that we were ignoring them, but we just kind of thought that they can sit over there. We had this whole area for the kids. For the parents, and they're like, "Relax, just chill, just let your kids run around." But no, they were with their kids, playing on the drums, playing our cards, playing all of our games, and so it was a really exciting time. So we had another event too, which was the African Festival, and that was in August. And that's when we were able to sell more. We sold, we tested our game again, and we sold posters and playing cards and our activity book. So that's that in a nutshell, and I'll just talk about a little bit in more detail as we go along. So the team, Keith Donaldson, as I said, was that played this really pivotal role. But we also added Jessica Bodiford, who's a creative consultant, and she's written our story. Kidogoville now has a backstory, and it involves a baobab tree that talks. But it's really amazing. Aurora Lee has she has an eye, a creative eye that just is otherworldly. You'll see her work later, and it's been fabulous to have her. Courtney Simons, she's my right-hand girl. Whenever I need to deliver tough news, I'm like,
and Courtney. I'm not the tough news girl. I'm like, I'm negotiated and, and I just want to keep things light and airy. She delivers the tough news, not working up the stuff. Sam is our finance guy, and he's like, you can't afford that. Yeah, that's what he tells me. This is a page out of our brochure, and there'll be a QR code at the end of this presentation where you can get the full brochure, but it gives the people an offer. So part of what we did during this year is we had two basic questions. What are we selling, and who are we selling it to? We knew that we had this overall mission that we wanted to improve children's media and edutainment, but like to get down to the really nitty gritty, like what's the business? So we have decided that that we are going to make a play towards daycares, community centers, after schools, preschools, and we're going to sell them an entire package. And that package includes one song, paper up the yang activities, coloring pages and such, the digital component, which is the Roblox game, one live event that we will either go to them and actually do the live event or give them the blueprint if they're off in Detroit somewhere, and teachers' tools. So that includes a curriculum and posters that they can hang in their classroom. And with that ecosystem, it will handle one theme and then another and so forth until we get this whole catalog of content. And so this is Kidogoville Online that we're talking about, and then your in real life, which is your paper and your teacher's tools and your live events. So all to the tune, I think we're selling it for $2.99, $3.99, something like that. Where our prices are still in flux. This is just a video caption of some of the events that we did, and then this is a video screen grab of our current Roblox game. It took a lot to get to this point. It's kind of like, your newborn baby. Don't say anything bad about my newborn baby. I know that it's not the best that it could be, but it took so much. The very first meeting was a gray slate, and we were just like, what? I don't know. He ran into me. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you running into me? But it was a gray slate, and code by code, we really built everything. I'm not going to show you to this because we don't have time, but I did a Ujima and Pipeline Angels and Chase Bank. I did an update for them, and this was part of that presentation, but we don't need to go through that. It's not loading. Oh no. Buildings. Oh no. Hold on. Well, anyway, this is the rendering that Aurora has put together. This is the bird's eye view of Kidogoville. So you see your baobab tree, the talking baobab tree. This will be our bookstore right here. We have a performing arts center right here. Yeah, and the wellness center is not included. She was just like, AI didn't allow me to put this extra building in there, but it will be in there soon. We are so excited. We had to get more developers, and so they're out of Columbia because my finance person is like, you can't afford people who are actually here. You have to keep your money. So, but they're doing a really good job with coding. What else? We have our go-to-market. So our go-to-market is we are trying to hit those institutions by February. We have been talking to them, warming up the pipeline, but cold emails, they have to go out. I was drafting the cold emails today. It's a sequence, and we're going to hit Boston, and then it's New York, New York. And then from there, I think we said
I think we said Atlanta. I can't remember what it is in our go-to-market plan. But yeah, it's going to be 2026 is going to be the year of the sale. And I'm very, very excited. It's taken us a very great journey to get here. I'm trying not to use self-deprecating words about it, but I have loved every step of it. We're certainly going for national and international expansion, but all that will take dollars. So we are gearing up for yet another capital campaign. We have to be able to raise enough. And in this climate, I don't know, but we're going to try our very best to do it. We're going to go for 2.2 million. And we also need subject matter experts. We need warm leads to get to those daycares and community centers and such. And partnership connections. We certainly, we'll be partnering with Just Bookish this month for a Kwanzaa event. And we I feel like there's a lot of energized talent that creative minds are kind of or attracting that bunch, but could always use more. And for sponsorships, we were invited back by Dance Fest to be a part of here. So we really would like for this kids activation to be sponsored. So we're looking for businesses to do that. I was running out of time when I was making this slide. So Kwanzaa is that thing in December. Black History Month is what BHM stands for, Black History Month. Usually our partner with the Museum of Science, so we're going to do that again. And Black Children's Book Week is with BCBW. We didn't do an event with them last year just because we were so geared on like creating product, but we certainly want to get back in touch with them. And the wellness camp is going to be held at Dance Fest. So that's it. Thank you very much. This QR code is the QR code to the brochure. So if you have contacts with daycares, community centers, even stay at what do you call them? Homeschool. Homeschool. Thank you very much. Homeschool parents who want a robust supplemental curriculum, that is the QR code for them. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions,
First thing for the culture.
yes. Well, I could just go ahead. Oh,
no, you can't sit down yet.
Go ahead.
Okay. Can you talk more about your pitches? I know a lot of people in the room are interested in pitching to organizations like Pipeline Angels and JP Morgan Ventures. Can you talk a little bit about your journey there?
Yeah, so Pipeline Angels was, and to clarify, Chase is my bank. They have not given me any money yet, but I am declaring it. But with Pipeline Angels, they did invest in us. I approached them, and it was I would say it took 13, 14 months from the first day that I spoke to them to the day that the money landed in the bank. Pipeline Angels is a network of angel investors. They are all women. And so I pitched to them once, I pitched to them twice. I followed up with maybe 3 different emails as they were asking for marketing plans, operations plans, financial projections. They asked for clarifications from my financial projections. They really looked under the hood, just like Ujima did. You guys are very detailed. You leave no stone unturned. And because you want to make sure that you guys are investing in companies that are viable and that have great ideas and a great way of operating. So I got investments from 5 of those angels. There were maybe about 10 or 15 per call that I had, and 5 decided to invest in us, and I'm very proud of that.
And they're segregated by coast.
Yeah.
So East Coast, West Coast, Midwest.
Yes,
and
you,
each
yes,
cohort.
you know, so I got the East Coast pipeline.
Awesome.
Just curious about the virtual worlds. Is it world building? So it's like the idea that young people will help build that world?
Oh, it's not like Minecraft. Minecraft is world building.
Yeah.
For this is world exploring. So we will build the world. What we have done in the past and what we do plan to revive is having kid focus groups so that they will help us design. So they'll be co-designers basically. They'll help say, oh, I want this in this room or that in that room. Can I sit down?
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more, you guys. One more, okay?
Don't worry, it's only 45 minutes.
Is
Is it possible to get onto our website?
Yeah, let's do that.
Redwood. Social Sun.
Should upgrade.
All right. I want to go on the website first.
No, well, no, I don't need to. I could, yes.
Everything's gonna be here. I'm gonna share my screen. What's going on? And then I'm gonna.
Yeah. That's where I was. So I was late.
That's what makes it.
Yeah. No, I was here earlier.
Yeah.
You can see that. I can't see.
No, you didn't.
I was just inspired by the last one to do about the website, but I did. Maybe so.
I'm not gonna go thing.
Yeah, let's get this. It wasn't, it was just like a last minute thing.
What you got?
Okay.
Hey, I got you. One second. All set. You good, man?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Meredith. My name is Meredith, and I'm, oops, and I do go here. And I'm with the Boston Neighborhood Community Land Trust. I'm the executive director there. Alma here on this picture, this is Alma, who's the board president. And she lives in a house with, guess who? Josefina. And so basically, just going to run through some of the things and some of our highlights and some of our challenges. Our organization, what we do is we try to stabilize neighborhoods and keep people in their homes. And the way we do it is by buying properties, taking them out of the speculative market and making sure that they're permanently affordable forever, not just 10, 15, 30 years, but forever. That's what we do. And mostly what we've done for our first 10 years is to buy rental properties. And so we have 11 buildings where 32 families live across 11 buildings that are rental properties. But because we're a land trust, we operate a lot like the homeownership land trust in that we have a community governance model. Our board is set up so that a third of our residents who live in our land trust are on our board. Third are people who live right there in the neighborhoods where our buildings are. And then a third are, gosh, I saw this tipping. I'm like, wait, it's going to move. A third are other folks who are allies who don't necessarily live right in the neighborhood, but they bring other things to the organization that align with our mission. So using that structure, 2/3 of our board members are right from the community, and these are our decision makers. So we own properties, like we as an organization own all these properties, but all of our board members are the ones who decide everything about our properties. So that's the first tier of community ownership. And anyway, so that's what we've been doing over these years, is like really focusing on finding buildings, oftentimes where tenants are organized and they're getting pushed out, they're getting eviction notices, and they're fighting back. like with organizations like City Life Vida Urbana, and they're fighting to stay in their homes, and they say, hey, BNCLT, can you help us buy? And then we come in, we make an offer, and because they've been so strong, we're able to get to the ear of the landlord. If they weren't organizing, chances are good we wouldn't get that house. So that's the model, and then we buy it if we're so lucky, and then the folks who've been fighting so hard to stay in their homes get to live there, and we're gonna guarantee that it's affordable forever. So that's really how it all works. We are, I think, we're like at this deep moment of reflection this year. Like we're going through strategic planning, and we're thinking a lot of soul searching, because we've been really excited about all the properties we've been able to add, and the community we're able to grow. And our other, like we've been doing some retrofits, energy retrofits, and our staff is growing. We're like really excited by all of this work and our growth. And also, we are really committed to deep community governance, and that is harder. It's more than just who's on your board. There's a lot of work that goes with community governance. And we, at this inflection point, we're like, okay, we really need to think hard about how we do community governance, how we focus right at the core. While we still want to keep adding buildings and properties, we really need to focus like internally on how we're doing everything. So that's like the big thing we're working on right now. Also, another big thing we're doing right now is we are entering into the world of home ownership. So in our pipeline, as many of you guys know, we are about to build a 6-unit condo home for 6 new homeowners. And thanks to Ujima and some others, we were able to get your support as investors who are able to support our construction loan, which is amazing. So that is definitely one of our highlights from the year, is the process, because we want to emulate that process in terms of democratic governance. And it was such a joy to see how you guys all pulled that off and how we got so much support. It feels like we can just lean back and it feels so good to have that community support. So that's like a big leap for us, and we're moving towards, it's unfortunately going really, really slowly because it's tied to a city program, and there's a lot that we have to, it's just going slowly. Sorry. I'm not trying to throw any shade on anything.
Everyone was chuckling back here.
Okay. Anyway, it's slower than we want, but it's happening, and it's like we're working on our ground lease and all these things. So that's going to be like a new piece of our model, which we're really excited about. But I just wanted to back up to this piece of really making sure our operations and our systems are locked in so that we can grow and continue to add new properties and do more homeownership, and maybe even someday do commercial, which we'd love to do that. And so one of the things, it's very interesting being here today and seeing, all these folks who started businesses. Like I love watching that, because we're sort of torn between, well, we're a nonprofit, so we don't always think of ourselves as a business. But actually, I think we've been thinking more about being a business recently. And so I can tell you, our business to date has been buying properties, and it's been organizing, it's been nonprofit work of building leadership. That's been our business model. But we have always outsourced our property management. And so the business of running the properties, we've let experts in the field do that. And our big aha, which is a giant aha this year, is, oh my gosh, if we're really trying to do community governance well, we can't outsource that. We really can't. You can't just compartmentalize all these pieces. We have to effectively be at the center of that. So for us, it means recasting our operations as, we're still a nonprofit, but as this business part of our work, that somehow over these next few years, we are going to be out front showing that you can use a community governance model and do property management in an integrated way. And that we've been trying to do it with partners, but it's actually really hard to do. And property management in affordable housing buildings where you have very low profit, because we're intentionally keeping the rents low, is very, very hard to do. Yeah. But we think we can do it. So we're pulling it in-house. So one of our I was going to show you the website, some of our people, but we've been adding some staffing. And so recently, we just hired a property maintenance person. So in old past view, we would have the partner, the property management partner just do all of that. But it leads to a lot of miscommunication, or they're pulled into other portfolios that are not even ours. So by hiring, we have a new maintenance guy, a super. Basically, he knows our buildings really, really well, and he gets to build relationships with our community. And that relational piece is like critical to how we do everything. So before we thought, oh yeah, if we do the organizing work, that'll all work out. But actually, no. if your maintenance, not the clunky part of your organization, isn't in sync, it makes the organizing really hard. So that's what we're really setting out to do right now. It's like, okay, every piece of our team, every like team member has to move forward with a relational approach first. Like those relationships with all of our residents, the people who either rent or are new homeowners in the future, that like relationship with all of us is like key to everything. So I know it might sound kind of obvious, but it's actually a big move for us to take this step because we are both like having to become more like business owners by running the business of property management. But guess what? We get to do it in our own way, which is like much more touchy-feely. Well, no, I probably shouldn't. So yeah, so that's, thank you, intentional, relational, and it's about people. It's not about the buildings. Buildings are important, but it's really about the people. So, and then we can do the leadership development, and we can have building captains and all of these things. So that to us is really exciting about this year. And it's going to be slow to get there because it's like you have to do it piece by piece. And it's no joke to do the property management. There's a lot involved, but we're building that out now. So we're terribly excited about that. And everybody, like all of our residents, need it so badly. So that I would say is both something keeps us up at night, but also, in your challenges are where you find the solutions. So adversity is where you see innovation, all those things. But it's true, right? So it's like, and it is true that we are up a lot at night thinking about these things because it's like, these are hard times for folks. Like, where's the rent going to come in? And if people lose their other benefits, like, how does that affect us? So those are really hard. But it's even worse when it's things that are right here in your wheel hub that aren't going well. So like you're working with someone on your team or your outsourced team and things just aren't going the way you want. That's where, that to me, that's the biggest challenge. And we can get that. I think we can do better by really focusing on building those relationships and making sure we have the right team in place. So those are some of it's maybe not the same kind of presentation as the others, but those are really, I think they're like deep, those are deep, critical learning lessons for us that we are just right in the center of to address. Yeah, it's also like been a great year for us to raise some capital support we did a capital needs assessment, first time ever, so that we have like 20 years of plan for all the work we need to do with our buildings. We raised some money to do some capital improvements. Again, if you're a wealthy property management company or developer, you might be able to do that all the time, but we're really small. So even like doing HVAC for one building is a big accomplishment for us. So like we're really trying to focus on that, like really get the operations tight and smooth. And then next year is a big growth year in terms of the home ownership and trying to get back into the acquisition mode. We know that a lot of folks out there are starting to sell whole portfolios and not just like one-off buildings. Mm-hmm. So we're thinking about that. Like, if we wanted to do any kind of scale like that, what would that mean? But we certainly don't want it to do it until we know we feel really good and tight with how we operate internally. I'm going to stop there because everybody's really tired, but I am open to answering any questions. Plus, I'm getting really loopy. I don't know about you.
I just have one question. Earlier in your presentation, you kicked it off by talking about the importance of removing housing from the speculative market. Yes. Can you explain why that preserves affordability or how that sort of preserves affordability in the housing stock?
Yeah. So first, when a speculative buyer buys a building, there's all this data to support that they actually probably are doing it to flip it or to right away rehab it, turn it into luxury apartments, or to sell it off as condos. That cycle happens. I think a MAPC, Metropolitan Area Planning, recently did a study that said like 20 or 25% of all purchases of the smaller buildings happen through speculative buyers who have no intention to keep folks in the community at all. So we're just seeing so much displacement happen with the speculation. And every time it flips, it ratchets up the price. So it's like, okay, like we bought a building a couple of years ago that had been sold 3 years prior. And in the time between the sale before ours and then when we bought it, like those 3 years, it went up by $1 million. So it's crazy. It's just crazy, right? It can move that fast. It was a 6-family. So every time that happens, the more sales there are, the more like they're gonna every time try to get money, especially if they're going in, if they're underwater or anything, they're gonna try to drive the market up as much as they can. When we purchase, we're not planning to sell it. So this is we're stabilizing yes, maybe we had to reach a little to get it in this market, but then once it's there, if the market keeps going, this doesn't. So it stabilizes here. So it's not like we're going to charge more rent. This is the fixed cost. We know what it is. So fix the cost in that point of time. And that's true too with home ownership. Like, because when we sell to the condo buyers, we're selling well below market because we've got subsidies in that can help us do that. And then those like we can sell something that might go for $700,000 for like $300,000. So that's $400,000 of subsidy that's already built in. And then we're not like the next we have deed restrictions, which is a little controversial, but our point here is for community stabilization. So the next time that if someone wants to sell, they can get some equity, but they're not going to get market equity because the point is now when they go to sell, it'll still be affordable. So it just retains the affordability in the community for generations. Yeah.
There's whispers and some people are shouting it from the mountaintops that there's going to be a market correction that's going to be even worse than 2008.
Right.
Are you guys looking, how are you guys planning for that?
Well, so CLTs, like in the last foreclosure crisis, CLTs did really, really well. And that's the other benefit because again, we're just we're like, slow and steady. That's what we are. It's not like someone put in a bunch of money and they're expecting this big return. No, they're like at a stable mortgage level. And it's true for us with our rents too. If we're like by getting impact investors to help us out, we're able to get lower interest rates. So we're not going to get crushed. We're just able to sustain, and same with the home buyers.
That's great.
So yeah, it provides a buffer.
And that might be a strategic planning move to try to acquire during a downturn. Is that what you're?
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
High level.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Right. So part of it is to prepare ourselves to be able to do that.
Yeah. What does that look like?
Well, again, like one of the things that we're trying to do is establish relationships with impact investors, like Ujima and others who can ride that wave with us. So like in part of like when we get investment, that's also relational. So if we have people who really love what we do and they're with us for the ride, they can help us to acquire, because it's not like we have money sitting in the bank. Every time we get a new property, it's not coming from a piggy bank. It's just coming from money we put together from investors, from the city. We get like soft subsidy, like meaning we don't have to pay it back. And from donors also, we get some grants.
Yeah. How much cooperation is there with you between you guys and Dudley Street and some of the other land trusts?
Thanks for asking that. We work really well together. In my own career, which is getting longer and longer by the second. Sorry. I'm telling you, I'm getting a little loopy. I have never worked in such a collaborative space as the CLT network. Like we work really well together, and we're each our own CLTs with our own, 501c3 status and our own like entities. But we collaborate a lot, so we meet regularly, and if someone hears about a resource, we'll share. We sometimes go in on grants together. We are all a little bit different. We serve different geographies and neighborhoods, but and some do more home ownership, some do farm land, some do rental. So we're all a little bit different, but we share. Like if someone's starting up, we'll share our bylaws, or we're working on our ground lease, so we got the ground lease that Chelsea's using. So we just really try to not have to duplicate efforts all the time, but to just share. And we happen to be located in the space of DSNI, like they sublease to us. So while we don't work, like we're different organizations, it's very helpful to just have those colleagues right in the same space. Like, hey, can we sit down and talk about this? And then we also are part of there's a Greater Boston CLT network that we're all members of. And we've all created together a CLT fund that is democratically run as well. And we're all members of that. So we both receive and make decisions about giving money. We step out if there's a conflict of interest. Yeah.
So if somebody buys one of the homes that you're coming up with and they stay 20 years, but you want to keep the home the same price, how do do they get equity? How do they make a profit on?
Yeah, it won't be the exact same price. It will go up, but it will go up modestly. And so every land trust does it differently, but you create a resale formula, which basically says, and we just did ours, that people can gain 3% compounding every year. So over the 20 years, it would go 3% compounding up. That's from the sales price. So let's say they buy at 3,000, then they every year they get that increment up, so that when they go to sell 10, 20 years later, I don't have the numbers in my head, but it's that much more. That's what they can profit, plus any capital improvements. There's like a formula for qualified capital improvements that they can count. And they're building equity by paying off their principal too. So.
Just quickly, as you were mentioning some of the landscape around funding, you also alluded to sort of subsidies that were happening at the local level. But are there any federal or state programs that you also look at while you're looking at this work, or are you not finding that there are adequate helpful levers?
We actually worked really hard to write a piece of legislation that we presented to the State House a few years ago called SPAC, the Small Properties Acquisition Loan. I'm not going to go too far into the weeds, but we've got it, and it's just a pilot, so it's not that much money, but it's state funding that's similar. The city of Boston has something called the Acquisition Opportunity Program, which is it's a soft loan, but it serves as a subsidy, and the state one replicates and matches it. So we keep pushing on a policy level to expand that, because it would be good to have more state resources. We don't use any federal money. We're impacted a little bit because of vouchers. Some of our residents have vouchers, but thank God most of our resources are very local. Like we're so happy about that. That's something like we really want our community to feel like sanctuary for people. So I'm happy that we most rely on local resources. Yeah.
How do potential home buyers plug into new construction for homes you're making?
Yeah, so the new home ownership program that we're doing right now is through the city's Welcome Home Boston program. They will run a lottery, but it's in our interest to get folks from our own neighborhood into that lottery. So we're not allowed, because of fair housing laws at a certain point, we can't direct market to those folks, but now we can get the word out, hey, keep an eye out, and we can run orientations, letting people know what a CLT is. And we're working closely with MAHA so that folks can go into like first-time homebuyer classes, and DVM consultants. You guys might know Dariella.
They're part of the alliance.
So great. So they're running our marketing when we get to that stage of actual marketing, they're doing that. So yeah, that's through that, like once Dariella has it, because of fair marketing laws, she can't like specifically recruit people, but we can feed people into that process, so we can get the word out and feed people into that process. And that's one of the questions, how can community help? That's going to be a moment where we'd love to just get the word out. We would really love folks we're mostly Dorchester, but Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan area to be in that lottery, especially people who really love the idea of a CLT and want to be part of a CLT community.
Hopefully that might be one of the criteria for, it's not just a pure lottery, right?
We can't do that. We can't favor that over other things. We can't prioritize, like, if someone wants to be part of a CLT. But what we can do is get the word out and, like, in advance do some orientations and say, hey, this is like a good path. And
the restriction with that primarily the funding source, or
it's just fair housing law.
Oh, it's fair housing.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to prioritize one group over another.
Okay.
Do you have a way around it? Because you look like you might.
Let's. I do like fair housing.
Okay, good.
Well, because I was just imagining like that it's not like fair market activity. So I guess I just imagine.
Do you want to answer that question? Because you might have.
Well, no, I mean, so the Fair Housing Act applies to the acquisition of all residential real estate. So this would, I assume you're suggesting like, oh, it's not, it's outside of the traditional market acquisition.
Yeah.
But no, that's not it. The Fair Housing Act is going to apply writ large to any sort of purchase or acquisition of residential real estate. So there's no sort of exemption for this type of transaction. But at the same time, I want to hear more about what the concerns are, because there are very specific kind of protected classes and characteristics around who has civil rights under the Fair Housing.
Yeah.
And so there's not a clear, at least in my take on it, which is a question of someone who had interest in participating in this type of program, as to whether or not that would be a violation of the Fair Housing Act.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Which is right. So
But
even
could
though
they get a priority?
Even though it applies, I don't see why you would run into this. I don't see any immediate red flags with this policy. But I'm happy to continue the conversation.
I would love that.
Yeah.
If you have a card or something.
I mean, I imagine like a housing co-op would have similar sorts of ability to assess a candidate of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah, you can assess by fit, certainly. So
Yeah.
I mean, like the board actually has to pass. It's not pure open housing with a housing co-op. Right. So there's hundreds of thousands of housing co-op residents.
Right, like we have some ability to select within the pool.
Yeah.
That is true, but in terms of running the lottery through the cities, Baltimore and Boston, we can't give people who are interested in CLTs priority or preference, is the way we understand it. But I would love to get around the nuances, so maybe follow up with a call.
Exciting.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone on Zoom. I don't want to talk too much. I want to close us out, but definitely thank you all of our portfolio businesses that joined us. And we'll end here. Happy holidays. And before everyone leaves, we want to take a picture. Please. Thank you, everyone on Zoom. Thank you, Aretha. Thank you.